I I looked up and it was after 10. Lo siento, buenos días. Yep. Hola, buenas. Where did I put the... Buenas, buenos días. You know, yesterday, during my live, the volume was off. And Greta was calling me to tell me, good morning, to tell me, but I was on the phone, so I could not answer her. And then somebody, I can't hear you. I have not gone back to watch the live to see if the volume was messed up, because someone said, Maggie, we can't hear you. It was a nice video, but the volume was off. Oh, all right. So this year, I promised myself I'm going to get a good camera. Hola. Eve has many faces. Oh, buenas. I like that name. Interesting. Well, today we're not doing anything fancy, but you know me, I'm going to make it a little bit more complicated. Volume is good. Thank you so much. Yeah, yesterday it wasn't so. But anyway, today I decided to make a fancy quinoa salad. As you know, quinoa is packed with protein. And when I was in Peru, I was so excited because they have so much quinoa and they harvest it there, they grow it. And then yesterday I heard that quinoa is not a grain, but it's a seed. Details. But what I like to do, I see what I have in the kitchen, in the cupboard, in my fridge, and come up with like a couple of recipes. I have this leftover squash, so I am going to use that in the quinoa salad. Why not? Who says I can't? All right, let's take this seeds out. I'm always amazed at how quickly your trash can just go bad. You know, you've just gone for like a day and you come back, it's like, what happened? All right, so, but I may not use all the squash, but at least I'll have it around and I can snack on it. Good morning. This is calabaza squash, which I absolutely love. You guys know that. Where's my knife? My nice knife I like to peel. Good morning, Deborah. I missed you in exercise classes. Yes. All right. Now, you know, on YouTube, you can have what they call products. And I'm going to try one. My dream trip is Peru. You love it. I was inspired by the location and novella. Reinvigorated by your trip. One day I will make it. Peru is absolutely stunning. Just like I said, the same thing about Panama, right? Especially when you travel throughout the country and you see, oh my God, the mountains, the sea, the vegetation, the foliage, the animals. Oh yes. You know, I tell people say, why Panama? And you know, you've heard my story, how I connected to Panama, right? But like yesterday, I was on the bus. I don't drive, so I travel by bus a lot. And it's a spiritual connection, guys. I'm looking through the window, and then passing through, you know, the roads were like kind of bumpy. And I'm like, I still like this place. I'm telling you. I say Panama chose me, and I'm not kidding. It's just that it doesn't have the bells and whistle. It is not the best, but I like it. So, and I like Peru too, but not the same, on the same level. I love Peru. I mean, when you go to Lima and you are right on the Pacific, and they have this shop, it's not a mall, but it's like almost like a malecon. They have stores, restaurant, they have path, really well done. It's absolutely beautiful. Nice place to visit, right? That's what I say. To the places I go and I say, oh, I like this place. But I don't think I've ever been a place I said, I'd like to live here until I came to Panama. I know. I can't explain it. It's like when you love someone, somebody say, what do you like about him? And you say, well, you know, he's funny, he's this, he's that. And then sometimes you're like, I don't know, I just do. So I'm gonna cut the squash in the pieces, the sizes that I would want, okay? And then they're gonna cook fast. And when we finish here, I'm gonna do the quinoa, that way everything is ready. Yep. But yeah, I was on the bus and I'm like, I still like it. So you want to move to a place that you have that connection with. Good morning. That you say, I can go anywhere, I can go visit, but this is home. And I remember going back to Florida and there were so many changes and I was like, this is no longer home. You know, it's nothing extraordinary. It's just, it's not home anymore. For a host of reasons. Well, some people are really happy about that because they don't want me there. All right, so this is gonna cook really fast. So I'm just going to do the pieces for the salad, and then the rest of them, I'm gonna leave them bigger. All right, I think that would be enough for my salad. So when you're making a quinoa salad, you cook the quinoa, and whatever you put in it, it's up to you. The sky's the limit. You can put beans. I did cook some black beans I'm going to put in there. I cooked some chickpeas I'm going to put in there. I have a little bit of edamame left. I'm going to shark it and put it in there. You're trying to get contrast. So you have orange. I have some little bit of bell peppers. I'm going to put that in there. But the key to a good quinoa salad is the dressing. So we're going to do the dressing first and let it marinate in the fridge for 30 minutes, however long it's going to take us. All right, so I'm going to put that in the oven, and the rest of the squash I'm going to put to the side, and then I'm going to cook those in the oven. Going to roast it in the oven later, okay? Need to wash my hands. Sticky. So you had to spend a little time making the dressing for the quinoa salad. Maybe we should cook the quinoa at the same time. Let's cook the quinoa, right? That way, by the time we finish the salad, we just put everything together. Time management is important. So, let's... For the quinoa, it's a little bit less than a 1-to-1 ratio of liquid. I don't think I have... no. I was looking for stock, but I don't think I have. So we're gonna put, it's 1-to-1, a little bit left. Something must have went wrong because I couldn't find your workout videos. Really? I thought something might have been wrong because I was like, where is Mr.? You know, Wednesday and Friday, there was no one. Okay, so I'll check again. You know, knowing me, I could have done something. All right, so for your quinoa, you want, oh, I gotta get some more sea salt. You know, I get something of salt, it lasts like about a year because I don't use a lot of salt. And a little bit of oil. That's all you need. I saw someone toast the quinoa yesterday, then rinse it, and then cook it. And I'm like, why do you do that? I'd be worried about losing something in the heat. You know, sometimes we get too fancy with things. All right. So I have the quinoa here. I have white quinoa. I love the multi-grain. I can't find this one here. Oh, that's something else somebody can bring me. Shh. I met this sister the other day, and I said, you know, people bring me stuff when they come. She's like, oh, were we supposed to bring gifts to the queen? And I'm like, oh, gosh, oops, it came out wrong, right? I was just saying how happy I was that people would bring me stuff. And yesterday in Las Tablas, I was sitting, you know, I was on the live because, you know, I took that to replace the live I do at 4 o'clock. And I saw this cute lady across the street sitting with her husband. And then next minute she walks over, she comes, she said, I watch you Maggie. I'm from Brooklyn and we come to the Poyera. And I'm like, oh my God, that was so amazing. I just love meeting people like that, you know? I would find random people, or I'll be at the mall, you know, they're staring at me and I know they probably saw me on some videos, but you know, it's kind of nice to see that the reach that YouTube has given SWRA and myself. You know, we don't deserve it. All right, we'll do the quinoa. This is the cover. All right, so I'm ready for us to do our dressing, okay? Let's put it right here because we have not, and you know quinoa. I've cooked quinoa in front of you before, so you don't need to watch that, right? Okay. I see. So I'm going to use my good olive oil for this. And I'm thinking of how much quinoa I'm going to have. So that's good. I think that's about, what, half a cup? And I love to put red wine vinegar in my vinaigrette. So I'm going to put a little bit. Vinagre de vino. Vinagre is vinegar. And of course, you want to do a good pinch of salt because that's what's going to season my dressing. Then I couldn't find lemon anywhere in Panama. Couldn't find lemon. I know if I went to Reba Smith, I probably would find it, but places like Super 99 is hit or miss. You're not gonna find it. Ray didn't have any. Sometimes they do. And then this is the challenge here in Panama. You have to be ready for it and don't let it trip you. When it comes to certain things, you may or may not find something. So if it's something you can stock on, just do, because next time you go, you're not gonna find it, okay? And then that's just it's the way it is. And I don't like to use those lemon pressers or whatever. As long as God has given me the strength to use my hand, I will use my hands. All right? Because again, I bought one, it doesn't work as well. I got a garlic presser. So I'll keep them smashing and mashing, you know, cutting the garlic. It works. And we can still add some more acid. You know, once we put the dressing together, and then that's when we're going to dress it up. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic. I just don't have to do a lot, but just a little bit. But it has to be cut really fine. All right. Water is boiling. Put our quinoa. I remember the first time I cooked couscous. I cooked it like the quinoa, and it was a no bueno. No bueno. Hi, Sandra Johnson. How are you, my lady? When you're doing couscous, as soon as you put it in the water with the salt and oil, you take it off the heat and you cover it, and that's how it cooks. And then, of course, I found out that couscous is not a grain. It's a type of pasta. Did you know that? I just love the fact that I'm still learning stuff as I go. I absolutely love it. I am an eternal student. So whatever somebody wants me to know, just let me find out. And I love it. You always should be, I think it's a great attitude to have, that you're always willing to learn something for someone. You've met those people who feel like they know everything and nobody can teach them anything. Have you met people like that? I have. Even if you're an expert in your field, there's somebody who knows something more than you do. So, have you ladies heard my podcast? I started a podcast last week. Hey, Greta, it's snowing. Oh, I cannot even imagine being anywhere where it is snowing. Wow. Tawana, hey, doctor, how are you? Are you in SA or are you back? You know, we need to talk about our little program next month. So, I did a podcast and I call it, it's still the SWRA podcast. And what I talk about is going to be, I said that for the podcast, we're going to intersect aging, wellness, and wisdom. You know, I try to do the wisdom post and people are like rolling their eyes, they're not interested. But I put it in a podcast. You can listen to it if you want. My face is not on there. It's just audio. It's 5 minutes. Usually I go like a few seconds over, but 5 minutes. And I talk about random things. You know, I started this week introducing myself, talking about my growing up, you know, my life. And hey, tomorrow night, you're going to have a wonderful time. Oh, SA, that Table Mountains and everything. You're going to love it. So, you know, it is, you know, I schedule it for 6 a.m. So it's like your morning wake up. It's not a religious, it's not, well, you could call it meditation type thing, but it's just something to kind of jog your memory, put you, and it's really uplifting, of course, because I feel we need to keep each other up because, oh, this is crazy. This is mental health, okay? You know, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, so I understand the value of mental health on focusing on the positive and not all the woe is me and the things that are happening around us. You focus on the thing that you want to focus on. It's up to you, okay? So I'm going to help you. So if you got a chance, check it out. It's on a playlist, okay? And of course today, it's going to be nutrition. So what I thought I would do going forward, like I need to record next week. I'm going to spend today home and just do that. So I thought for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm gonna do on Mondays, we're gonna do aging. On Wednesday, we'll do wellness. And on Friday, we're gonna do, wisdom. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's gonna be random Saturday, random Sunday. You know, if I went somewhere and something happened, you know, we can do a little bit of debriefing about that. But that's all it is, 5 minutes. This is not a regular video, it's not a video. This is just to kind of keep us connected and uplifted so we don't lose hope in this crazy world that we're living in. Letting people know that, you know, people have gone through worse. And I heard this sister say, oh, we've never experienced this before. And I'm like, what? Have you read history? Jim Crow? Cotton field? No. It's not worse. But I think what's different is that there is more of a collective reckoning or awareness that is happening. Maybe that's what it needed to take that to get us to this point. I don't know. But I think one other thing we need to understand is that we're not in control of a lot of things. And then we should not take responsibility for a lot of things that are happening. We didn't do it. But how we survive it, how we move around, that's up to us, right? And we want to instill that into our children. How are we going to let these children grow up in this world if they don't have a stable foundation, right? How are they going to make it? We made it because our forefathers didn't give up, right? Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to say, you know, if you go back, and again, history teaches you a lot. So you have to say to yourself, my parents survived. So my job is to survive for my kids, my grandkids. I don't have any grandkids, and I'm saying selfishly that I'm grateful because I think I would be really worried having children coming up in this. So if you have kids, you know, I was on the bus yesterday and the whole time I was praying for my children. I have 2 boys and a girl. I was praying for their safety, that the Lord covers them. Listen, and whatever you need an anchor, not just positivity. You have to hang on to something, and it's an act of the will. You have to. That's the only way you're going to make it. All right, so I have tomillo. Tomillo is thyme. So when you do a dressing and then you have dry herbs, that's good too. So I'm going to put tomillo. And don't ask me how much. Just a little bit, a pinch. All right, but I do have some fresh thyme. All right, what else are we going to put in there? What other? Oh, that's still thyme. Marjoram. I have marjoram here. I'm going to put that in here. I love marjoram. Okay. Red pepper flakes. I love those as well. You know, I need a big old thing to put my spices. When I watch someone online and they have, like, you see those drawers, they pull it and they have all these herbs. Oh, I salivate. I would love to have that. Red pepper flakes, there you are. All right. We did salt, pepper, we did acids. Whew. All right, that's good. And let's see what else I have here. I have cilantro. Now, you know what else goes well with this salad is fresh mint. You want to have mint. Let's see what I have. Romero. Rosemary is getting a big ups these days. They say you put it in tea and you put it in this. All right. My quinoa, I'm going to turn the heat down. Let it cook. So, fresh thyme. I'm just going to put a little bit. We already put some in there, but you know, I'm Caribbean. We are in love with thyme. We put that in everything, you know, bouquet garni. Any sauces, thyme just does wonders. So when I don't have it around the house, I feel like, ooh, something is missing. What do you mean you don't have thyme? All right. Allspice? No, this is not an allspice kind of dish. And you know, the joy to me is in the prep. It is. And if you don't enjoy spending time, you know, I'm here But if I wasn't on live, I would have some blaring, some really good classical music or my favorite artist. Yes. And all the good hormones flowing down. Ooh. Yes. And then these are some of the things you do for your mental health prep to keep yourself in a positive frame of mind. Tuning out all the negative, the things that are happening that you have no control over. So stop feasting yourself on that. No. Turn off the TV with the bad news. Put some soft music on, whatever you like, jazz. I happen to like classical, but that has nothing to do. Everybody has their taste, right? So I am going to put a little bit of rosemary in here just because I like it. But I'm going to have to cut it really small because you don't want chunks of rosemary in your salad. So pretty much, the only thing that I'm going to maybe toss is, not toss, but just saute, and I have some leftover, like a little pack of spinach that's looking a little neat, so I'm just going to throw it in there again to give me that that pop of color. When you make this salad, you want color, right? So I have tomato, you have the green, I have some yellow peppers, and then I want to put that spinach in there, and that's going to be yummy. And your dressing is what's going to bring it up. See, really fine. That's your rosemary. Romero. That's how we say rosemary here. Romero. Romeo and Juliet. Romero. Oh my God, I remember when I was in school. I love that movie. I absolutely love Romeo and Juliet. And of course, I cried my eyes out at the ending. When she went like this, oh, I think I was traumatized. Oh my gosh. You know, I grew up in Haiti, so French literature was just something, it was just part of us. We just learned that. And yes, it was a remnant of colonization, but you know, hey, look here. Everything is Spanish, the accordion and the music, the dress in Panama. La Pollera, I went to the festival yesterday. That's all from Spain. You cannot escape your history. You cannot. No, I have not grown any herbs. I'm just lazy. And I said to myself, I have a black thumb, but I could give it a try. I don't think I would be well at it. But I think you can. And of course, I don't live in a house, but I could have a little, I don't know, thing to grow in a box. I have a plant I put on the patio, and it just like the moment I put it there, it was like, that was her spot, and she's been looking good. Every time I put her out, she was indoors, and I put her in a corner on the patio. She doesn't get direct sun, but she gets plenty of sunlight, and she loves it. So I guess with herbs, that would be some of the things that I worry about. I love all herbs, okay? All of it. All right. So, doesn't that look beautiful? This is your dressing. Now, this is my whisk from my culinary school days. I can't find a whisk that's as good as this one. Whew. I had to go home to get a chef's knife that I like. The ones here, no bueno. So if you come in here, bring your knives. Oh my God, I never put this in. What is wrong with you, Maggie? I need to drizzle it. I thought the squash was in. The squash was not in. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with you? Just running my mouth. Alright, I'm just putting a little bit of adobo on here. And I made sure the adobo didn't have MSG in it. That's why complete seasoning has MSG. My daughter, I was cooking, I loved it, and my daughter's like, Mom, did you see that it has MSG? And I was like, what? Where? Yep, sure enough, in the trash it went. Listen, I'm telling you right now, don't wait till you get our age. But if nature didn't make it, try to stay away from it, okay? And I want to show you something else. Needs a bit more salt. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put that in the fridge. Let it marinate for a few minutes. Okay. You know, when you go to these festivals, they're always giving out like some goodies. And I'm not going to put the name on here. But they had these. This lady handed me these two prepackaged things. And it says sopa de pollo con fideos. That means chicken soup with noodles. Fideos means noodle. And of course I'm like, it's prepackaged. It's like I will not buy those kind of things. So if you are one of those people to say, oh, I need some chicken soup, and then you pack one of these and then you put it in some hot water and you think you're doing good, I got something for you. So I read the labels. First of all, I don't trust everything they put in here. No, I'm sure they're not telling you the whole truth. But it says it's got noodles, salt, corn, glutamato, non-sodico. That means monosodium glutamate, MSG, MSG. This is the thing people use in this part of the world for flavor. It's a flavor enhancer, and it is MSG, and it's been associated with cancer. You all know that. You should try it. Herbs are very oh good, I need forgiveness. I think I will, especially like when I try to get basil, which I love, and they die. I just threw one in the trash. They usually go bad before. They love direct sunlight. Okay. All right, thank you, Doc. But anyway, and then it said turmeric, and you're like, oh, it's got turmeric. Yes, it does. And parsley, ajo, garlic, and didoxido de silicio. Silicon dioxide. If you can't pronounce it, don't put it in your body. So, thank you, but no thank you. I will not use something like that. So if you want some chicken soup, buy some chicken, throw some vegetables, let it cook, salt, pepper, put some garlic, put some herbs, and you go. Don't eat those prepackaged things. First of all, I told you, something to preserve, they have to load it with salt. It's not that salt is bad, but we just put too much of it in our bodies. We don't need all that. So, there it goes. No bueno. No. All right, let's see. What else do I need to do before I put things together? Because well, I forgot to put the squash in there, so I need a few minutes. Oh, the quinoa looks so good. I'm ashamed to say, when I first started cooking quinoa, I was like, what am I doing wrong? It came out grainy, or it was a pasty mess. But quinoa is something, once you cook it and then you fluff it up with a fork, it should look like this. And then you can play with it. Play with your food. All right, I have cranberries. You don't have to put cranberries in yours. I do like to put cranberries. So Because of this, I'm going to do a salad. I'm going to put this in the fridge real quick. It needs to cool off a little bit. So, put a towel underneath so it doesn't mess my plastic in here. And then I like nice little feta on top of my salad, like especially when I do chickpea salad with cucumbers. And then I said, oh, well, yeah, I usually don't eat cheese though, but I'm like, usually I get queso blanco with the olives, but I'm like, let me try this. So I come here, I open it, and I'm like, it sure doesn't look like feta. And then it's like fat-free. I don't do fat-free anything, okay? If I'm not gonna have it, I don't have it. I don't do fat-free, I don't do anything free. I believe in eating wholesome, right? So that's why, you know, with the vegan thing, I'm a little bit, I don't criticize vegans, but I'm saying if you decide you don't want to eat something because of your belief about animal cruelty or whatever, I respect that. But why do you go out of your way to replicate something that kind of reminds you of the thing? You know, I looked at the recipe for vegan sausage one time with beets. Beets is good. But there was a list of things like this, and I'm like, why would you do that? Right? If you don't want, if you don't, and the sugar too, if you don't want to eat something, don't eat it. Nah. Like this guy is saying, soursop patties or something. He cuts soursop green, and then he fries it. I'm like, okay, why do I want to fry this beautiful thing? Was it soursop? Or is it, I don't think it, anyway, it's something really weird. I don't fry anything anymore. Right now I am looking for my almonds. Oh, there it is. I like slivered almonds, and you know, almonds are good for you. So if you put it in your salad, big up, right? But I like to toast mine a little bit before I put it in the salad. So I will do that. I'll do it later. Right now, let's just get our bowl. My beautiful bowl. I like this bowl. Look at this beauty. I like this. All right. So I had some leftover yellow pepper. So what I have left, that's what I do. When I have anything that's left over, I create something to use it. So nothing goes to waste, not willingly. Some of my herbs go to waste sometimes because I forget to use them. Or like I had a pack of, not tarragon, but sage. Well, how much sage am I going to use? I know. You know, soursop, you take the pits out, it's full of pits, and then I just eat it. I don't even need to put it in a smoothie. I love to eat it. There's a place here called Foodie, and soursop is expensive here. They weigh everything, right? So if they say $2 per pound, depending on the size of the soursop, you're paying $10, $12 for one. So we're gonna do small dices, and it's gonna be a beauty, I promise you. With some greens, yes. Now you don't cook these, right? When you're making a salad, you want your peppers to be raw. But I am gonna saute these, the spinach. I could use raw spinach because you make spinach salad, right? But the ones here are a little bit different. They're heartier. So they're not this pretty, probably fake spinach that we get. Oh, I have a little bit of green. Yeah, don't throw anything away. Find something to come up with a recipe. And you know, I have like a whole thing of heavy cream from the holidays. I don't know what to do with it because I don't want that inside of me. That's too much. Dry your herbs and blend them with oil and freeze in ice. Oh, I don't know. I like the fresh one. But herb oil is definitely, I make the herb oil. That probably would work for my herb oil. In fact, I just washed the my bottle, and I'm going to make some because it's been a little while since I had herb oil. And I love it. I dip things in it. All right, I have a little bit of red peppers. So we're gonna use that. Now peppers, I love. I can eat that raw like that. There's a lady online called the okra lady. Do you guys follow her? Woo, she got some really pretty stuff. Now I love okra. I have some okra in my fridge right now that I have to find a way to cook it. Now I have roasted okra in the oven, and it's good, but I think I like it soft better. And okra soup, like some people like, I can't do that. Too slimy for me. I think it's Nigerian. They love it, but I could not get past the sliminess. But that's me. It's not a critique. It's just that it does something to me. And I can't eat it like that. All right. I think I need a little bit more green, and I do have another whole green pepper. Now, my neighbor, when I lived in New York, we lived in a 3-story house. We were on the 3rd floor, and this lady had a little box in her yard, not big, and she grew the most amazing thing. Some people are really good at that. You know, some people are really good at that. And she would bring us, you know, bags of tomatoes and peppers and all kind of things that she grew in that. And I was like, all this came out of this little box? But some people, it's a gift. I really believe that. I really believe that. God has gifted me in other ways. So I went to the festival yesterday. It was lovely, but I said to myself on the way back, I said, okay, Maggie, this is your 2nd day. You've had your fill, that's it. I don't need to do it again. Going there, I took a bus from Albrook. It's like around 4 hours, no problem. Coming back wasn't so easy. Trying to get around the parade route was a challenge. All right, so I have some black olives. We're gonna put some So coming back was a little bit of a challenge. So I had to go around and round to get around the parade route. And finally, when I had to walk somewhere. They don't have a bus station, at least I don't know where it is. And then I saw a bus going to Chitre. Chitre is about, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes from them. Like, okay, if I take the bus to Chitre, then I know it's a big terminal. I can. So, when you leave Panama City, they have these little rickety buses, not big at all. First of all, to me, they look like, hola, mini me. And I'm like, they don't look sturdy enough. And the first time I took one to go to Coronado or other places, they have to go through the mountain and it's like real curvy. I swear I thought we were gonna fall over because these drivers take these turns almost at full speed. And I was like, oh my God, so praying I get there. So I had to get on one of those little things to get to Chitre. And when the driver comes on, he knows you need to get to Chitre. So it was like there was no, we're full, that is not in their vocabulary. It was like, come on. I'm like, well, I'm like, getting some somebody's lap like we do with the Diablo Rojo. Your sister here, your 67, soon to be 68-year-old sister, I was standing in the aisle. There was nothing to hang on to. And the whole, safety thing just kind of kept going across my head. I'm like, if this guy bumps, I'm going to either hit the roof or no bueno, but I was there. So standing there, all the earth, almost hanging on to people so I don't fall. And I'm like, Maggie, what are you doing? And then he kept stopping at every bus stop for more people to come on, more people to come on. And then it was like, in the city, during rush hour, we do the same thing. It's like the only time the driver would not stop is, in front where he is, people would be standing by the opening door, full of people. And they wonder, when they have an accident, why we have so many casualties. So let me tell you, I was praying. I'm wondering if I should cut the olives. Yeah, let me cut them in half. But it was like, oh my goodness, that was terrible. All right, I'm going to turn the oven off with this. Because, I had cut the squash really small. So they, oh my God. And then we got to Chitre. I got on the big buses, but I had a crazy driver. He was just going so fast. So let me tell you, when I got home, I was like, whoo. And I said, okay, Maggie, you've been to that festival twice. It's time. We're done. I don't need to do it again. Wow. One day I got on a bus and the driver was driving so fast. He took a turn so fast that I fell inside the bus on my butt. He didn't even look back. Some people say, oh, senora, he helped me to get I didn't hurt anything, but it was like, what is happening? Whew. Yes, that is crazy. All right, so we're gonna put our peas in. Oh, let me turn this on. So I shot the edamame. I'm gonna put a little edamame. Now you know your quinoa is full of protein anyway, right? But hey, edamame is soy, so it is also plant protein. But we're good. So I have not had meat. It's been a little while. So when I get chicken, if I'm making some soup for someone, for a sister, like I have my sister whose mom is not well. I've been thinking a lot about making her some soup. I just can't fit it in. Maybe tomorrow. Mondays are usually good. So this is about, I don't know, half a cup, 3/4 of a cup. And I also cooked this morning some black beans. But I'm going to rinse the black beans because I don't want any other color in my salad. All right. Okay. All right. What else are we going to put? Oh, cucumber. You have to have cucumber. So if you buy the English style cucumber, it's even better. But these, I got to delivery people. They're like small and skinny. So that's good. And somebody is always asking me for the recipe. I'm going to put the ingredient in the description, but just, you mix whatever you want. Again, small dices. green olives. You could put those in there as well. Spanish olives. I like the black one. I don't know why. Okay. Get the edamame. I only have a little bit left. I want to put that hot water on this. Only a little bit of edamame left. I think that would be a nice contrast for this. And as I said, I had a hard time finding edamame in the US. I found them at Walmart, but here they're abundant. Go figure. Some things you find easy here, like bok choy is very popular and cheap. What do they call it? They call it something different here. All right, then I cover it. All right, let's see what else we put in there. Remember I said mint is good for this. Now I have some leftover arugula, so I'm going to use that arugula as a base when I plate. And I bought a avocado yesterday, 2 days ago. And you know, you kind of have to know when to buy the avocado for when you need it. And this one looks like it is ripe. So I'm gonna cut it. It's not the one with the skinny neck that I like here. Those are buttery. But I got this, so it's like a surprise. Every time you cut into it to see if it's nice and yellow, because the color tells me how the taste is gonna be. See? Look. Not good. It's a surprise, but you see this, I don't like that. So that's not gonna be, I guess I can make it work, but it's not a good avocado. That's why I don't like to buy avocado out of season. We're not in season. The season doesn't start till May, which is when you're gonna have good avocado. So, but the ones that I've gotten from the delivery people were excellent. All right. I also have some potatoes that are boiled. So we are gonna cut one and put it in there. Yes, that'll be good. So you could do red potatoes or you could do white potatoes. Like fingers would be really good because, you know, they're nice and yellow. Again, those are things I have in my fridge. I'm just trying to get rid of things. So you come up with recipes to let you use your food so you don't waste anything. I know Dr. Gill is happy about that. She doesn't want us to waste stuff. We save money, don't we, doctor? If we repurpose our food. And I tell you, I feel bad when I throw away food because my mother raised me that you don't waste food. And when I do, I feel bad. All right. So we have, let's see. Yep. Why not? Who says I can't put it? In your salad, you can do whatever you want. No one can tell you what you put in your salad. Your salad is your fresh ingredient and stuff with the dressing. That's it. And it can be green or not. You repurpose your food so you don't waste it. Because, you know, there's a lot of chatter online about being growing our own food. If we depend on going to the store for everything, and if we can't, then we can't survive. No bueno. So sometimes you look at your cupboard and I'm like, okay, if there was something where I couldn't go to the store, could you make something to eat and you don't starve? Yeah, I could. Easy. So don't think in your mind that you're not a chef. It got nothing to do with being a chef. It's being creative and understanding food and nutrition and know you want to eat a variety of food. That's all. Right? I'm not doing this now, but I like to take my food like that and I soak them in the sink, with soap, and then I rinse, and then I put like baking soda, and give them something, and then get a brush and brush off the stuff that all the coating they put it on your food. I don't know why they're just so dedicated to making us sick. That's just terrible. All right, so put the potatoes, put the quinoa, do the leftover spinach. What else? And toss the almonds, and that should do it. And I am going to put some cranberries because I just love cranberries myself, but you don't need to. It's optional. Okay. And then when you go to the the little open air store and you say you want cherry tomatoes, they call it tomato cherry. Oh, I'll send it to you. No, you prepay. You can do Yappy. I do online transfer. They give me the Banco General account, and I just do a transfer. I must say they have good stuff. Okay, the avocado is always good. They have pineapple, papaya. They have leeks. They have beets, sweet potatoes, camote. That's what you call sweet potato, camote. And they have fruits and veggies, lots. So you get a choice. You order today, they deliver the next day. Our quinoa is done. Ooh, that was good. I absolutely adore quinoa. I don't know what it is, but by itself, it tends to be a bit bland. So like when I make black beans sauce or whatever, I like to have quinoa with it. Or I'll make a curry with chickpeas. And I put green peas, and oh, that's good too. All right, edamame, almost done. All right, so right now, let me do the leftover spinach. Let's put the edamame and then use this. You know what else I like to put in this salad? Is Brussels sprouts. But those are not easy to come by here. You see it and then you don't. Okay, the spinach here comes in the bunch. So I usually have to take the leaves off, and then I save the stem for stock. But that's usually like $1.75. Spinach is really cheap here. That's a good thing, but it doesn't come like in these pretty little leaves that I prefer this because I know it's coming from the earth. Anything that prepackaged in a box over there, I'm like, because the conditions may not be ideal, and I don't trust our food source over there. I really don't, because they just bend rules and stuff. It's all about, they're so profit driven. They don't care about you. Because you know, if something is killing you, they know it's not good for you, but they still give it to you. And they have to preserve the thing because, you know, that's waste. And if they don't preserve it, then they're going to have to use too much of it, or they're going to have logistics trying to get it to you fresh. So I don't trust the food source. I really don't. And I know we can't go, you know, people who go fully off grid. Yeah, they make their own butter and stuff. I'm not that pioneer woman. So I know I can't control everything, but I control what I can, right? You don't have Yapi. Like I said, I don't have Yapi either. I bank at Banco Banismo. So they'll send you their address. You go online, like you pay your bills and you set them up as a vendor and you just do a transfer. And when you finish, you get a PDF or a voucher and you send it to them saying it's paid. And then they will give you a delivery. And delivery is free. They don't charge for delivery. Depending on where you are. I want to say your zip code, but we don't have zip codes here. Like if you go into Costa del Este and places like that, they may charge you. Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, I will. But I like to do my, you know, have vegetable stock on all the time. All right, so this is the spinach I have. I'm just gonna, what do you call that? Sweat it and then throw it in there. All right. Yep. Ooh. Was I gonna put the oil in there? What's wrong with you, Maggie? Well, that's too much oil anyway. All right, and then the almonds. I like to toast them a little bit before I put it in anything. I love almonds too. I love nuts. Hi, Miss Thomas. Now the avocado I was gonna put on the bed, but they look so not nice. See, the top has this brown spot. Look at that. Oh bueno. Now, I love to put squash in anything that I can, just because I'm in love with squash. And it's good for you. It was good. Now, usually I would do salt, pepper, and a little bit of lime juice, but it's going to be in there, and I already have that dressing, so I don't need to spend time doing that. Oh, I accidentally used the oil. Now remember, I want my bright color, so it's not gonna be on here long. That's it. Now, spinach tends to be wet, so I don't want any liquid. And I'm going to chop this a little bit before I put it in. Rinse this and then put the nuts in there, the almonds. And then we're ready to mix it all up. Alright. Very good. I'm gonna get this ready to mix everything. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Wow. A work of art. Now what I have to put on here last is the mint. You cannot have this dressing without mint. Yeah. Half a cup. Alright, our dressing has been marinating here because what it does, it just gets all the flavors to coalesce. Yes. Alright, mint. Now there are two types of mint here in Panama, menta y yerba buena. I haven't used the mint, I've usually used the yerba buena, so let's see. Ooh. Too hot. Burn my almond. Not on my watch. Yerba buena. Ooh, nice. It looks like regular mint, doesn't it? So when you go, it will say menta, and then the other one says yerba buena. So when you go to a bar and you ask, or at a restaurant, you ask for a lemonade, we have lemonade con yerba buena. Mwah. Very good. All right, that's good. All right, we are done. Just some mint leaves, chop it. You need mint. All right. Time to see if I missed anything. Oh, and that feta. Do I dare put it in there? I don't like that. All right. Chop the mint. Now the mint, you don't have to go too heavy, right? Because anything that is too much, you're going to overpower the dish. And I'm going to put some cilantro as well. So you pick something like this, and then you know, it's best if you do it and then for the night before, but don't put your herbs till the next day if you're going to leave it. But with the dressing, let everything marinate. That's going to give you better flavor. Some cilantro. You know, when I used to make smoothies. In my restaurant, we use a lot of cilantro. Yep. Every so often, I get tempted and I say, oh, maybe I'll start something here, you know, like I used to. And then I thought of the time and work that it takes. I was like, Then I talked myself out of it. It's like, working hard enough as it is. Maybe it's a little bit much. That's just like that. So like that. Yeah, everything in scale. Don't do too much of one thing versus another. So we have everything that we wanted in this salad. And then we're gonna put our dressing. That's what's gonna bind everything together, right? And then, it's not like a tabbouleh, you know, like one of those, is it Greek? Look at that, look. Okay, I want you guys to see this. So when you are creating something and you want to make it to something that is pleasing to the eye, that if you serve that to somebody, they're going to say, wow, what is this? Then they're going to want to try it, right? Look at this. So this could be a side dish, or it could be a main dish. It's packed with protein, so don't worry about you need meat. No, you don't. So for this, I don't know what else you would want. Sometimes you put them on lettuce leaves. I'm just thinking what else I would want to eat with that. Maybe some sweet potato fries. But why mess it up with something else? To me, it looks absolutely divine. Now, it may look good, but does it taste good? I taste the herbs. I'm thinking a splash of acid, but I don't want to do too much. You know what I want to put in here? There's no heat. This is for me. I'm going to put a little bit of jalapeno. But this is for me. This is optional. Because I need a little bit of heat. But if you don't like heat, don't do it. Even though I put a little bit of that red pepper flakes, not enough. My food has to have a little bit of heat. This is optional. And I think a little salt, pepper, and a little bit of acid. We'll take it home. And then we're gonna plate it on top of the arugula. Now arugula will go really well with this because I love that peppery smell and taste. All right, a little bit of jalapeno, panamá, but you don't have to have it if you don't like jalapeno and you don't like heat. And pepper. And then once it gets to that taste, I'm gonna say, got it. Herbe de Provence, you know how much I love this thing now. So I'm gonna put a little bit, un poquito de sal. Now remember, I'm not one of those to tell you salt is bad. Salt is not bad. You need some salt. Your brain's gonna swell. All right. And a little bit of lemon juice. And then I guarantee you it's gonna be perfect. And I know when it gets there, I say, yes, that's it. Lime juice. Now, you know what would have been good if you had lemon? Zest some lemon. Oh, yes. That would have been it. Okay? Look at this. Look at this. By Crocky. That's the beauty. Yes. Ooh. I'm gonna take a picture, so it needs to be a little bit. Don't look so messy. Wow. That is beautiful. By Crocky, that's a beauty. Remember Steve, the guy that used to do Crocodile Hunter? When that accident happened, I was heartbroken. I love that show. Steve. And to see how his family has continued his legacy, it's just amazing. Love quinoa salad. Okay, well, hopefully you're watching this. See. All right. So how are we going to serve this? I have my pretty blue plate right here. All right. I have some leftover arugula, which I love. So that gives me an opportunity to finish it off. And that's exactly why I thought of using it with the quinoa salad, right? So we're gonna make a bed and put the quinoa in the middle. I was hoping to put the, to add some avocado, but I might just cut some avocado on top, right? Mushrooms, yes. Mushrooms fresh and in jars, of course, because, you know, because of the Spanish influence, we got lots of tomato product, tomato sauces, lots of olives and capers, all the good stuff. All right, so now let's put some quinoa salad on here. Now there's nothing binding the quinoa, so there's no sense of me foaming it and then putting it down here. It's gonna fall apart, right? So just gonna put it in the middle and eat your quinoa and enjoy it. Ooh, looks so pretty. Seriously, look at this thing. Look at this beauty. And you're gonna always need a little bit of height when you plating your food. So always don't let everything be flat. You want a little bit of elevation, okay? All right, so let's see with this disappointing avocado, if not slices, but maybe I can get the bottom if I scoop it. And I know I was taking a risk, and I was like, well, maybe, no maybe, no bueno. Okay, let's see. Just for decoration. And you know, with avocado, if it's fresh, you need to squeeze a little bit of acid on it. Otherwise, it will oxidize and turn brown on you. just like apples. I found this classical station. Well, is it on TikTok or I don't know? I'm not on TikTok, so. But they found these kids that are playing so well. Oh, and I'm enamored with classical music. Just because of the way I was brought up, we listen to a lot of classical music. I think that looks good, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. That is you. Okay. I don't think I need to put anything on top because the quinoa is multicolored anyway. So voila, quinoa salad. Look at that. Someone present that to you. You're gonna say thank you and eat, right? It's healthy, it's light, it's packed with nutrients and protein. All right, guys. So today is gonna be a quiet day for me. I'm gonna be recording my my podcast and then chill. I didn't go to walk this morning because I was like, I'm gonna let my body just wake up on its own because yesterday I didn't get home till 11. So, all right, guys, thank you for hanging with me again. Isn't it pretty? Thank you so much. Now, Greta, when you get here, I have to cook some of that stuff for you. Okay? All right. God loves you. I love you. Bye. Have a great day.